Hey everyone, it's Alex here from Ninja Teacher, and this week the first group of international tourists arrived in Vietnam for the first time in nearly 2 years, since March 2020. So exciting news and good steps towards the borders fully reopening, but things are not completely open yet. We're going to discuss that in this video. Not everyone can get into Vietnam, and the tourist packages that you have to take aren't for everybody. So let's discuss that in this video. So first of all, don't get too excited if you're planning to move to Vietnam or travel in Vietnam, because this first phase of the reopening plan, which I discussed in the previous video, is only package tours. So you have to go on a tour, stay at a certain location, and you can't do much outside of that, so it's very limited. What you really want is the phase 2 and phase 3, which will hopefully be happening in 2022. The dates have not been announced, which would make it more possible to travel around freely once you're in the country on a tourist visa. So that's really what you want if you're planning to move to Vietnam to start teaching English or do business or whatever it is. So I'm just here getting some mì quang bò, beef noodles in the central Vietnamese style. It's thick noodles, crackers, put some vegetables in there, chili. This place is called Nudo, and I think the owner was on the Vietnamese MasterChef, so it's a nice little spot. So anyway, this first group arrived on Wednesday the 17th of November, and it was a mix of different nationalities. There was people from the UK, the USA, France, other countries in Europe, some South Koreans, and this international flight arrived here in Da Nang city, and they're going over to Hoi An, where they're staying at a resort for the 7 days. And during that time, they are allowed to go to the beach, I believe, and to the UNESCO World Heritage sites like Hoi An Ancient Town and the My Son Sanctuary. So they can do a few things, but it is a package tour that they had to book, so they can't go out and do things outside of that. Now apparently some people after that 7-day tour are allowed to go visit family, so I think that would be good for people who are trying to get to Vietnam to visit family, but again, I think it's quite restricted. But another good thing is there isn't the 7 days of quarantine having to stay in the hotel. During that time that they're staying at the hotel, they are allowed out to do these things. So hopefully in phase 2 and 3 there won't be quarantine on arrival, which would make it a lot cheaper and also much better not to have to quarantine on arrival. The requirements, as you can imagine, is to be fully vaccinated or recovered and do the testing on arrival and before you fly over. As for other news in the country, Vietnam is doing quite well now. With here in Da Nang, things are pretty much back to normal. I'm at a little cafe here. Everything's open pretty much in Da Nang city. Even in Ho Chi Minh City, which was the worst affected, they're now allowing in-person seating in restaurants, and I've just seen the news this week that they're allowing bars and karaoke and cinemas to reopen in the lower risk districts as well. And the country really ramped up vaccinations this year, with I think about 38% of the overall population vaccinated right now. But in the big cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh and Da Nang, the vaccination rates are very high. Most of the adult population is fully vaccinated, and those are the high risk areas, so it's good that the populations of those cities are highly vaccinated. And schools are also reopening across the country in the lower risk areas, and there are plans to slowly start getting everyone back into schools, learning in person again, because it's all been online for quite a long time now. And then as for other news in Southeast Asia, Cambodia has now done away with quarantine on arrival completely. So you can actually get to Cambodia without having to quarantine. There isn't general tourism allowed yet, so you do need a pre-approved visa, which we can help with if you are planning to teach English in Cambodia and go through one of our programs. And as I made a video about before, Thailand is now open with no quarantine on arrival. Countries like Indonesia have only 3 days of quarantine on arrival. So overall, it's great to see all of this reopening of borders happening across Southeast Asia. Hopefully Vietnam is going to get to that phase 2 and phase 3 as quickly as possible so that you can get into Vietnam. Fun fact, this place was called Escobar when they first launched, and they had to rename it because everyone complained, obviously, because it was named after Pablo Escobar, who is a mass murderer. So yeah, they renamed it. So I gotta tell you, I'm so happy to see those images of the people getting off the plane, the first tourists in a long time. Look at these buildings behind me. These are all hotels along the beach here in Da Nang that are empty. A lot of them are closed actually completely, and a lot of them are just, you know, half empty. No one here. Domestic tourism in Vietnam has resumed for the most part. People can come to different cities. Hello. Friendly guy. But obviously the tourism sector has suffered greatly, and it's not only that, the borders need to be open to get the economy going again. They need to attract international business. They need to let English teachers back into the country. All the schools in our network really want new teachers, and I cannot wait until we can start our in-person programs to help people start teaching English in Vietnam again. We're just waiting until that's viable and people can get into the country, and then we're going to launch our TEFL courses for teacher training in the country, and our upgrade option for people who have already taken a TEFL certification but want that in-person support and orientation and community, and then assistance with finding a job. So hopefully that's going to be the case sometime early next year, hopefully by halfway through next year. We'll just wait and see what the announcements are from the government. But in the meantime, it is Black Friday coming up. We're offering a big discount on our online TEFL course. So if you want to get TEFL certified online in the meantime and then be able to come to Vietnam later. And then for those of you that want to get started teaching abroad right now, we have the options in Thailand, Cambodia and Indonesia that are running right now. So if you're interested in moving abroad right now, getting your TEFL certification done in person in the classroom in one of these countries, and then assistance with finding a job, we're offering a discount on these programs right now, as well as a full free month's worth of accommodation in country as a bonus for Black Friday. So check that out. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. You can go see all the specials that we have right now, only over the Black Friday weekend. So go check those out if you're interested. Otherwise, stay tuned for more videos about living abroad in Vietnam and Asia. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in a new video very soon. Peace.